Streamlined Backshop, in cooperation with DCCSound USA, present the first ever production of an ultra-realistic sound file for the Pioner Zephyr. This is the most accurate file available for the early Zephyrs and utilizes the power and performance of the ESU LokSound V4.0 line of sound decoders. This is not an actual recording of the Zephyr. They don't exist anymore, at least not an operating model of it. They've all been decommissioned and relegated to museums. But what we have done is research the prototype and apply the best sounds that are available to come up with the closest file possible to match what the Zephyr would have sounded like. The sounds have been developed from research from books, from the web, and from operating manuals, and from the actual movie that starred the Burlington Zephyr, the 1934 production of the Silver Streak. So we've taken all of that research and generated what we feel like is the closest approximation of the Pioner Zephyr available today. This is a demonstration of the file. There is a full write-up available on my website, Streamlined Backshop, at www.SBS4DCC.com, as well as all of the details of the actual file and how we arrived at, how we chose the sounds that we did. The file's appropriate for Zephyr 9900, the Pioner Zephyr, 9901 and 02, the original twin Zephyrs that became the Sam Houston and the Ozark State Zephyrs, Zephyr 9903, the Mark Twain Zephyr, as well as the Flying Yankee that was basically a twin of the Pioner Zephyr, purchased by the Boston Maine and the Maine Central. This particular sound file, the Pioner Zephyr used a Winton 8-cylinder 201A diesel. It was the first application of a diesel engine. There are no known operating examples of that engine, but the Winton eventually became an EMD 567, 8-cylinder EMD 567, and so that's the basis of this project. Phil Dunlop with DCCSound USA has taken his original source recordings and modified the some of the internal logic to better replicate the way the Zephyr would have operated in terms of transitions and the speed through the different the rate of increase of RPM through the different engine notches. And the bell has been modeled to simulate what we can hear in the movie, as the horn has been selected based on the best research we've been able to come up with, primarily through the Burlington Route Historical Society's Burlington Bulletins, and the Proto Trains website. There's they produced many years ago a model, the Fine End Zephyr, was probably the original N-scale model of the Pioner Zephyr, and there's some great information on that website about the history of the different configurations of the prototype as well. It doesn't get specific about the horn types, but does give some indication about how many and where they were located based on the vintage that of the model that you're going to simulate, what year you're modeling. Additional sound effects include opening and closing doors and the all-important air conditioning compressor fans. The Zephyr was one of the first, if not the first, definitely the first streamlined application of air conditioning, and it was the first train produced with windows that didn't open, so air conditioning was an all critical, a super critical mechanical system on the train. So with that, that's the background of the file. This is just a quick demonstration of the file, of the different sounds in the file. And so let's see. We'll start off with the bell. That is really annoying, but boy, it's as close as we could get. And that was what the Zephyr bell sounded like. This is the horn. This is a combination Leslie A125 and A200, so it's a dual chime file. Now, here's the A200. Here's the A125. And so in operation, it was a dual chime configuration, and so they can be triggered independently on functions F17 and F18, or they can be triggered together on function F2. And of course, since both the horns are in the file, you can obviously remap it to have one or the other on function F2. And a neat little trick that we put in there, you can deselect one of the two horns using the shift mode on function F16. Now let's see, here's our doors opening and closing. And our air conditioning system. And then let's see, here is our brake release. And our radiator fans. And finally, a sanding bag. Now, what everybody wants to hear is our EMD 8-cylinder 567 prime mover. So let me start that up. This particular model has a Streamlined Backshop 11 by 15 sugar cube speaker installed in the coach compartment of the second car, and the model uses it's just an 8-pin plug, so I used the LokSound V4.0 Micro version 4.0 Micro sound decoder. And those are really the only two components that you need to do the install. It's pretty simple beyond that. So there's our engine at idle. I'm going to take it up through all of the notches using the manual notching function. So I'm going to notch up. This is a spectrum analyzer to give you an idea of the frequencies. Just for reference, I'm punching about 69 decibels, 68, 69 decibels. It's not bad for N-scale. So I've been using manual notching to control the sound up to this point. Now I'm going to just let it go through the normal paces through the throttle response. There you have it, the Pioneer Zephyr from DCCSound USA and Streamlined Backshop Services. Visit me on the web at www.SBS4DCC.com, where you can find this completely custom and unique sound file, as well as the best selection of decoders, engines, and track and rolling stock on the web.